Alright, this is a disassembly video that I wanted to make for the Model 31. Some parts of it are easy to work with, to disassemble. Other parts could be a pain if you're not careful with what you're doing. Anyways, to start off, we'll take the barrel off. In this model, it simply screws off. There are models that have, well, models I guess, of the 31 that you push down on the thing and it releases a barrel. This one here, all you do is release the bolt by sliding the slide a little bit, and then screw down on this here, and as you see, as you turn it, this thing here moves down and away from the piece on the barrel there, and then you give it a turn and the barrel slides off. Alright, now that the barrel's off of this, we've got the trigger to take off, or the trigger group, which is surprisingly easy with this model, and it's pretty foolproof, at least for the pin part of it, since I don't have any punches here or anything. As you see the pin here, it's the only thing holding the trigger in. See, it's bigger on this side than on this side, so it's pretty foolproof also. You can't put the pin in wrong, so you just push on it. Opens up pretty easily there. Take it on this side, pull it out. You see the groove there is where it locks in. Then you take it with the action partially open. You push forward till the grooves line up with those little lugs on the side, I guess you would call them. And then you pull up on the whole assembly, and the whole thing comes out. Now in here, you just heard something make noise. That was one of the cartridge stops for the tube, and that would be the right one, as you see. Anyways, now if you look at this carefully, when it's pulled back like this, you could remove the other stop here. Technically, right there. Sorry about the hand in the way. Alright, now the two stops are right out of the gun. The bolt is strange to remove because it's got to be fitted. It's got to sit right in a certain spot before it could come right out of the gun. So you set it up here, and the hole on this side, it's got to sit on the edge of the hole according to, you see the this right here is the action arm, I guess you would call it, or the pump on it. That's how it pulls the bolt, or the now I won't remember the word I'm looking for. Anyways, you keep it on the rear part of it, and then you should be able to pull up You see it's pulled up. Now you can bring the slide forward. Anyways, a bolt carrier is what I was looking for, the word. Now, once a bolt carrier is free from there, you want to turn it slightly. Just enough to get it to turn here. Try to take it off the bolt. Sorry about the hand again. Okay, move the bolt forward like that. There you go. And once it's slid like this, you should be able to get it out. Technically. There you go, that's down. Alright, and that's how you get it out. Alright, once the bolt carrier is out, you gotta watch out because right here is your ejector. You'll see it in a minute when I pop this whole assembly out. You just push down the bolt and it should slide forward. Or backward, should I say. You gotta get the arm right out of the way. Like this, squeeze the ends, and your shell lifter is removed. Now your bolt should come right out. Careful because it will try to get jammed on the ejector because of the position it's in, so bring it forward if you can. Lift it right up and slide it out. And that's your bolt removed. As you see, it hasn't really been cleaned yet. Got 2 extractors on it. Back of the firing pin. You can check at the same time to see the fire pin's okay, and can't see it well from there, but it is good. Alright, so the bolt's out. Lastly, in here you see the ejector. You lift up on it like that, and then it comes out like that. Pretty big ejector, little spring on it, so be careful with that. So that's how you take this apart. Assembly is just in reverse order, and don't do like I did the first time I took this thing apart, is forgot to put that back in place, but we'll get to that later. So we start with this. Our ejector. We want to put it back in the groove that it belongs in there. Make sure it lines up with the groove that's there, and now our ejector's in place. Next thing we took out was a bolt. So we put it back in, slide it right forward so you can get it to fall into grooves that it's supposed to be in, like that. As you see that, it's fine there. And you want it to ride in there so it doesn't get caught up on anything. As you see where it's riding below the extractor. Anyways, that's where that goes. Next, you want to put this back in. This is the way it goes in. So squeeze the ends again a little bit just so it fits in the thing. Bring it right to the bottom, and that'll lock into place. Now is when you could fix your bolt to get it to go where it's supposed to. Alright, you have to be careful with this because you see where the action bar rides here. Gotta make sure that the action bar stays above, because if you see, that's what pushes on the to bring it up. Pushes on the shell carrier to bring it up. Anyways, place those all down where they're supposed to be for now. Everything's where it's supposed to. Keep that out of the way until you get the bolt carrier back in, which is just a matter of basically dropping it in and playing around with it until it lines up where it's supposed to go. And then once it's sort of where it's supposed to go, it should just fall into place like that. Now don't forget, you have to bring the action bar back underneath the carrier, or you're never going to get it to line up properly. And once that's in place, you still got to lift it back up again and let the bolt come back so that the bolt locks underneath the carrier. So once you do that, you got to get all three things just lined up properly. Like that. And now your bolt is where it's supposed to be. Check to make sure so far everything's working right, and it is. See how the action bar, the bar there, pushes down on this, and how the bolt actually pushes it down. So the action bar keeps it down here while it's here, along with the carrier here. As it gets to here, the action bar no longer pushes down on it, but the bolt pushes up on it. So it pops it up, allows you to get the next shell. Alright, now the semi-tricky part, but it's not so bad. You gotta get this in with the carrier. So you got to place it so the carrier isn't blocking any of it. So as you see, the carrier's got to be far enough forward for it not to affect here and for it not to hit over here. So now that's where it's supposed to be. The next one is easy to get in. You just have to bring it and line it up with the hole in the side here. Now you got both of these in place, and they're locked in, no problem. Now lastly, you've got to get the trigger assembly back in. This could be a pain if you aren't careful because these fall out. So you want to get this in. It's got to be lined up. These have to line up with the holes. This is like a big spring on it. So it's big spring. Well, it's springy, so provide some so you get it. Alright, once it's lined up like this, the back end's going to go in pretty easy. Now the front end, you're going to want to push that down, which will let it go in. Last part you want to do here, without destroying everything, is getting the trigger back on. You gotta make sure this stays in its place, if not you're gonna have a problem. So once that's there, and we saw already this, you push the bearing ball looking thing down. You push this in like you see here, and then you just slide back. Just make sure the shell holders are in, if not you're going to be forcing on them and you could break them. Anyways, once that's done, the hole lines up here, and as you see, the foolproof pin goes back in here. You push and your gun is back to being assembled. And function test showed that it actually is back and working properly. Anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Hope it helped out a bit. Thanks for watching.